Hello and welcome to Commodity Champions. I'm Manisha Gupta. Did you know that the sugarcane you enjoy as a refreshing juice in summer could also be used to make biodegradable plastic? Well, each harvest of sugarcane produces large amounts of agricultural residue that often goes underutilized. But one Indian company has found a way to turn this waste into value. Sugar manufacturing company Balrampur Chini has laid the foundation earlier this year for India's first large-scale polylactic acid bioplastic plant under the brand Balrampur Bioyug. This plant, slated to commence operations by 2026, will have an annual capacity of 75,000 tons. But what exactly is biolactic acid bioplastic? It is a bio-based, compostable and low-emission plastic made from renewable sources like sugarcane, commonly used in packaging and 3D printing. Joining us now on the show today is a woman spearheading this initiative. Avantika Saraogi is the fourth-generation member of the promoter family to join Balrampur Chini. She is currently an executive director at the firm. Avantika, hi. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is a difficult subject, so it would be great if you can start by explaining us on what really is the whole process overall and what really led you to this.
Hi, Manisha. Thank you so much for having me. Actually, having me and to discuss my favorite topic, which is PLA, polylactic acid. So just a couple of things, how is PLA made? PLA is made by fermenting sugar to make lactic acid, which is then purified to make lactide and then polymerized to make polylactic acid. It resembles a regular plastic completely, and it can be used to replace many of the single-use plastics because it has a much shorter carbon cycle and it is compostable. So in this first generation, we are making it out of sugar, but we will also move backwards towards the agricultural residues, as Manisha was mentioning. It's quite literally the same as would be for ethanol or anything else. Everything requires first a purer feedstock, and then you can go to the dirtier ones. So yeah, that's the process. And what led me to doing it is, it'll sound childish even, but one of the mandates that was given to me when I joined the company was value addition to product and byproduct. And I was researching online to see what are the best options to do from sugarcane. And I came across this absolutely clear bottle, which looked exactly like a PET drinking water bottle, and it said, "I'm made from sugarcane." And it's as simple as that in terms of how the story began.
All right, pretty interesting. Avantika, so, let's understand the numbers and the maths behind this now. When you look at bioplastics as an overall industry, what is it as a global industry? Where does India stand? And the kind of capacity and investment that you're making into this, what kind of a change and impact would it have on ground?
Okay, so the global plastic market is about 650 million tons, and bioplastics represents 1 to 2% depending on how you cut it. The Indian plastic market is also 20 million tons. That's the amount of plastic waste that's generated every year, and it grows at a staggering, 7-8% rate. And PLA, or rather bioplastics, already account for about 1% of the Indian market. So let us say that by some statistical data analysis, we've been able to figure out that today the Indian market for PLA is around 40,000 tons already. And the plant capacity which we're installing, actually, we upgraded it from 75,000 to 80,000 tons, okay, which will be our annual production. And we will start as scheduled in October 26. And in the meanwhile, we've already started seeding the market under Bioyug PLA, and we've already, as we speak, there are more than 50 trials which are on for consumers and converters and compounders to start using and making products out of the same PLA that we will be making.
Avantika, what is the kind of investment that you're looking to make into this? Because as you said, you've changed the capacity, you upgraded that. Have you also upgraded the investment that you're going to be making into this?
Not since the last announcement. So it's 2,850 crores, and we are going to be on time, and we are going to be sort of commissioning in October 26. So I think product will start coming out from November itself. Now how it changes how Balrampur is that it will do two things. One is that more than 50% of our revenues will come from green sources, which is ethanol, cogeneration power, and PLA by the time PLA hits full capacity. So 27-28 balance sheet will see 50% revenue coming from green sources, from green products. And the other thing it will do is it does at this point in time, almost have the capacity to build another Balrampur within Balrampur. So we hope that everything goes well and, we are able to sort of scale up and see the growth of this venture.
Those are big numbers, Avantika. I would also want to understand on the cost efficiency of this plastic vis-a-vis the other plastic.
So, of course, that is the sort of main question I get asked. And yes, the PLA resin price, which is the granule price today, is about double of a regular plastic, give or take. And, this is also the reason why I don't think a single plant is the future for it, which is what I was alluding to before. So this is our start, but the intention is definitely to scale up. So let me give that some perspective. We've announced a capacity of 80,000 tons, but like a regular PP, PE, PET line, if you call it, is around 400 to 500,000 tons on a single facility. So if we were able to go up to that scale, our pricing would be very, very close to regular plastic, and this price point conversation would be over. And that's where I hope to go in the foreseeable future, the near future even.
So as you start to produce it, Avantika, I'm assuming you already started looking for consumers for it as well. So who are these people that you're talking to? I do understand that agriculture uses one part of it, but then packaging and bottles and so many things apart from that as well. So as you do all of these trials, 50 as you mentioned, what are the end users that you see your product going for?
So the easiest thing off the block is the SUP items which are banned. Anyhow, you cannot make them in plastic. So when we talk about cost efficiency, PLA is better at functionality and better at cost when we have to replace all those SUP items. So whether it be straws, forks, knives, plates, cups, bowls, all of those things, PLA is better in terms of cost and in terms of functionality. So there we have, one of the sort of easiest conversions. It's also fairly easy to make these products. So that's one of the major things that we are looking at. There, the acceptance is very good. Secondly, we are also, as you're showing on screen, we are targeting water bottles, the small format water bottles, because they are very use and throw. They are hard to collect and recycle, even though, PET recycling is going really well in the country. The little bottles are very hard to sort of collect and recycle. So that's one of the things that we're looking at strongly. Plus, in the more touristic areas, water bottles is the most visible trash which is created in the landfills and things like that. So we would like to sort of give our attention to that. And then the third thing is flexible packaging, because in India, flexible packaging is the major demand. We were hoping that would come later, but since that's one of the major trials we have going on as well, it's going well. So. Yeah.
Avantika, are others doing it as well? I mean, do you have competition here? Do you have a deadline to meet? Others getting into this territory too?
So, I would invite others to get into this territory. It's hard to be the only one, but so far, we are the only ones. We're the first ones who will produce a bioplastic at industrial scale in the country. And I think a lot of people might be waiting and watching. And then I'm pretty sure the moment that things hit market, things are a bit successful, we will see more people coming in. And I don't think it's competition, but I think it's a much needed and welcome change. I hope we are able to positively affect the agri-based industries. It's my dream to be able to make this into a larger thing, not just for Balrampur, but for India.
Talk to us also about the government push within this. I mean, we do understand that a lot of green energy, green push is being talked about right now. And we've seen a lot come through via budgets and cabinet meetings as well. What is it that you have at this point in time from the government in sense of perhaps subsidies, incentives, hand-holding even?
I think that most people are aware, but I will really outline the UP bioplastic incentive policy. So the UP government has rolled out a policy for large-scale bioplastic manufacturing with an investment of over 1,000 crores. They will provide a 50% capital subsidy, reimbursable over 7 years, a 5% interest subvention, a net SGST reimbursement, amongst other smaller things like electrical duties and land the signings to be given back and things like that. So I think it's a major move. It's the first incentive policy for bioplastics in the whole country, and we're very happy to be able to participate in that. And if we talk about Government of India and if we talk about other state government pushes, so many of the state governments are banning plastic in certain items like small format bottles or other, coatings for water cups and things like that. So that also helps us. And at the Indian government level, the Bio E3 policy, which was announced by the PM in 24, and again in his Independence Day speech from Lal Killa, was spoken about to provide impetus to bio-based manufacturing. So it's actually not just about plastics, but bio-based products in which bioplastics is explicitly mentioned as one of the things to push. And we've been received very positively, whether it be from any of the government departments, be the DBT or the Department of Chemical, Petrochemical or MOEF. And, we are working on creating more awareness and more market for green products like this, which have a much lower carbon footprint.
Well, that's about bioplastics and a lot of work being done for that. And Avantika, you've explained us to that very, very nicely. And we're really hoping and looking forward to 2026 as a deadline. As you said, October is when it goes on ground and is when we would start seeing those results as well. But since we have you with us, what is also your sense on now on sugar? What we're talking about is a glut in the global markets, trading at around 15 cents and below that, below cost of production, not just for India, but Thailand and Brazil, which are the other major producing countries as well. And for the Indian markets as well, last year was 296 lakh tons. This time, the sugar production is anticipated at 343.5 lakh tons. With that much of sugar coming in and no change in MSP, ethanol diversion kind of slightly on the lower side, not such a great time, would you say?
I think definitely there are headwinds. I'm not going to sort of sugarcoat that. But we do expect it to be a good crop year. So that brings down the cost of production significantly. And I think that, the ethanol pricing is being discussed. The diversion, as you said, yes, it is lower. But if we're able to lower the cost of production and, the Indian sugar pricing is at least not affected by the global sugar pricing in that sense. So we are safe there. I think we need to wait a couple more months to see how the chips sort of fall. But I do hope for a positive, announcement from the government when it comes to ethanol pricing. There is a serious discussion going on. Let's see how it pans out.
What also is your sense when it comes to overall sugar as an industry? Because ethanol price is one part of it. Sugar MSP is the other one. Export, because we're looking at such a strong, good sugar crop year this time around. Would you say this is one commodity that continues to be very, very cyclical in nature yet again?
So, I don't love the word cyclical, but, I think that there is an inherent sort of thing, because we are related to farmers, there is not, there can't be a very harsh lookout at the industry at the government level ever. So if we are really in a fix, we always believe that if it's a policy intervention required, the government will step up. Having said that, I feel a sigh of relief, at least, that we as Balrampur are in a position where we can utilize the sugar in another way, or we already have a direction because of our bioplastic plant announcement. So we don't feel as threatened as maybe the others do. But I do think that MSP will also be a topic which is being seriously addressed right now. So MSP and ethanol pricing, economics of the business is being seriously looked at by the government. And we really do hope for a positive response very soon.
Avantika, would you say that the sugar as an industry moved from sugar to ethanol as a diversification? You have moved into bioplastics as a further diversification. That perhaps is the way to go?
I think that I would just put it in a completely different way. I really think that sugarcane is the new oil. as many things, whether it be chemicals, whether it be materials, whether it be fuels or anything that can be produced from fossil-based sources can all be produced from agricultural-based sources, and sugarcane being the most efficient with the lowest carbon footprint. I think it's something which is just sort of wanting to explode, and with policies like the Bio-E3 which give impetus to all kinds of biomanufacturing, and if we have one success story like ours, I think it will open the floodgates to many more biomaterials in which India is already inherently very rich. So diversification, I think, is the name of the game, and I think that in the near future we will see many such materials come up. PLA is nothing, it's the tip of the iceberg.
All right, Avantika Saraogi, so much pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for your time today and taking us through, of course, bioplastics, sugar, ethanol, all of that story there. Appreciate your time. And with that, we'll go for a short break, but don't go anywhere because Sandeep Kohli, CEO of Indriya, will be joining us on the other side.